Been more than 4 years since Pullman native Lauren McCluskey was deceived and murdered by her ex-boyfriend at the University of Utah, despite numerous attempts by Lauren to reach out for help.
I think it's important for people to understand how serious this issue is, and when there is a situation, if someone tells you what's going on, that you respond with urgency.
This tragedy has sparked an incredible movement that's captivated communities across the nation.
KXLY's Jordan Smith joins us from Moscow tonight with more on Lauren's story and how this movement began.
Lauren's murder made national headlines, particularly because of the missed warning signs by both the University of Utah and by law enforcement. But nearly 4.5 years later, and Lauren is still honored and remembered every day because of a promise that was made. Tonight, the story of Lauren McCluskey, her inspiring legacy, and the commitment to ending dating violence.
Lauren McCluskey was a bright young woman and a decorated athlete at the University of Utah, entering her final year of college.
In her senior year, she briefly dated a man who turned out to be a con artist and he was really a criminal.
The man introduced himself as a 28-year-old part-time student by the name of Sean Fields. His actual name, Melvin Rowland, a 37-year-old sex offender. After learning his true identity, Lauren broke off the relationship and sought help.
She figured it out and reported to a number of police and housing and a number of different entities, and no one really listened, and he killed her.
She was killed in the parking lot near her dorm, 13 days after ending the relationship. Her murder amplified by the glaring missed warning signs and mishandlings of her case, prompting the McCluskeys to take a stand.
Since then, we have been working to try to improve the response when someone is being threatened, especially in a dating violence situation.
The family created what would become known as Lauren's Promise.
I was trying to think about what I could have done if I had been a professor at the University of Utah and a student had come to me. And so I thought about it that I could put on my course syllabus a promise that I will listen and believe you if someone is threatening you.
That promise taking root in communities nationwide, present at over 200 universities, including the University of Idaho. Lauren's name and story cemented into the Kibbe Dome, where she'd spend hours training for her dream.
One of the fantastic parts of it is when I come in and I see her name on the floor, I think of the promise. I think of Lauren's Promise. And it's a good reminder for me every day to listen to my athletes.
That message reinforced to high school athletes at the Lauren McCluskey Twilight Meet, coaches and officials sharing her story, the athletes running in her honor. The Pullman community giving back as well. Graduate students paying out of pocket for this tree, commemorating Lauren's story on campus. A tribute to Lauren and the promise that won't be broken. In Moscow, Jordan Smith, 4 News Now.
And you can watch more on the story of Lauren McCluskey tonight on ABC's 2020. That's tonight at 9 p.m.